As some of you folks might know, I recently got one of these Euphoria UMC1820 audio interface things recently. I'm a big fan of it, so much so that I was kind of thinking about the expansion options, because I know they do an ADAT rack unit you can get that expands it and adds more inputs and outputs. I think it's ADA8200, the Behringer one. And also, it also has the option to expand another two outputs and inputs via PDIF, SPDIF. So I was kind of getting to thinking about getting one of them, but then I remembered I had this MOTU 808 Mark II, this absolutely ancient sound card, which works physically fine, but I haven't been able to use for a good number of years just because the drivers stopped being supported in Windows. I think the last set of drivers they released was for Windows 8.1 and they weren't very good, and then after that they ended support, which is fair enough, it's ancient, I mean it's from 2006 I think. But this thing offers the opportunity to output via SPDIF and ADAT as well, I believe. So it got me thinking, could I use this essentially as an expander for this to add more channels? And I set it up today via SPDIF and it seems to be working quite nicely. I've basically managed to get these two mic channels in the front sent out via the SPDIF in the back of here, which gives me an extra two channels. I think in theory, if I'd set the ADAT up correctly, I could add a further 8 channels via this, although I'm not 100% certain just because I'm not quite sure about the routing in here. Essentially this uses like a virtual mixer kind of thing, which it controls the input and output routings. And I'm not convinced you can get to all of the settings via the inbuilt menus. I'm not sure though, but anyway, so I managed to basically set it up so that on these two mic channels here are essentially panned to left and right. So they're basically, that one's hard left, that one's hard right. And then I went and routed the output of this sort of inbuilt mixer thing. So I've routed the output of the inbuilt mixer to the SPDIF on the back of there. So basically what happens is the audio's coming in on these two, or can come in on these two, hard pan left and right, and then the output, left and right output of the SPDIF will then correspond to one of these. So at the minute I've got a microphone plugged into input 2, which is obviously hard pan and comes out the right there. And then to hook it up to this, dead straightforward, just a couple of cables. One controls the SPDIF coming in, one's the SPDIF coming out. And then over here on the back of this. These are 75 ohm coaxial video cables, which is what this standard usually requires, which is handy that I had them because I just do a lot of video stuff, so these are just kind of lying around, which is kind of partly what inspired this. But I thought this was kind of a neat way to find a use for this thing, which is a sound card that, you know, I've had for donkey's years, and I really liked it. I always thought the preamps were nice bit of kit, and I would have still continued using it had it not been for the drivers. And essentially that's what I got this to kind of replace, you know, to give me that functionality of the multiple inputs, multiple outputs kind of thing. So yeah, at some point maybe I'll explore doing more channels from this on the ADAT, because in theory I could probably add, well, I could add 8 more line-ins on the back of here. I could add 8 more line-ins to this, and then obviously these two microphones that I've already got, which sort of massively expands the capabilities of this. I mean, even with just what I've got at the minute, this now gives me 10 channels with microphone preamps on them, which, you know, that's enough to do a drum kit really. That's a very sort of competent number of channels for recording. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Just thought I'd share that little studio update with you.